Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dr. Robinson again, and we are going to continue our studies. Please don't forget to watch our show, Math Time, on Tuesdays from 4:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Optimum Cablevision, Channel 15. Don't forget, we have YouTube videos, a lot of good study videos that I think you'll enjoy. My channel name is Dan Robinson. You could watch our latest release. It's a very good movie. PKMS Math Prep 18 tells a story about a student who had some problems in math and how he resolved them. Take a look at Math Prep 19, which will be available shortly. You can tweet us at drobmath1. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, give us a thumbs up, as well as write a comment to let us know how we're doing with our videos and what we can do to improve them for you. Okay, we're talking about direct variation. So here's some vocabulary that you need to know. Direct variation is a relationship that exists between two variables so that their ratio is a constant, constant being a number. The relationship is called a direct variation. Here's a special note. In every direct variation, we say that one variable varies directly as the other, which means going the same way. Or one variable is directly proportional to the other. So there's a direction that's indicated here. They're either going the same way, going up, both are going up, or both are going down. So we're going to talk about that as we go on in our studies. So the constant ratio is called the constant of variation, or letter K. I've seen that letter K before in one of my other study videos called constant of proportionality. So you might want to check out that video as well. Okay, here's our first question. The Silverman hands out a 25 question quiz with a note that each correct answer is worth 4 points. Fill in the table to show the relationship between the number of correct answers, called X, and points earned. So we have a table here. So our X will be the number of correct responses. So that means our Y is going to be the points you earn. So if one question is correct, that means they earn how many points? If you said 4, you're right. Well, what if the person had 2 questions right? How many points do you think they would earn? And if you said 8, you were right. Why? Because 2 times 4 is 8, because one question is worth 4 points. 1 times 4 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. So let's look down the table. If there are 3 questions correct, what do you think? If you said 12, correct. 3 times 4 is 12. What do we have here? Ooh, dot, dot, dot. So that means etc. It's going down. That would be 4 times dot, dot, dot. So I would fix that, Dr. Rob. So let's fix that. 4 parenthesis dot, dot, dot. That's much better. Okay. What if we had backwards? If I gave you points earned, got 100. So how many questions did you get right? And if you said all of them, which is 25, because each one is 4 points, I would just take 100 and divide it by 4. That would give me the number of questions right. So that was a good little table. So let's see some notes on the table. I want you to notice the fractions. The y, points earned, over the x number correct. 4 over 1, that gives you the 4 value of the points for each question, because that was our number we multiplied 1 by to get the points earned, or the number 2 by to get the points earned. So we multiply each one, and this one I like really well. Whatever these dots were, we multiplied that by 4 times that amount. So that 4 was our constant ratio. So if you notice all of these fractions where it's y over x, that'll reduce down to 4. and that's your constant of proportionality. So all of these fractions are equivalent. That's interesting to know. So your constant of proportionality or constant ratio formula, fraction, ratio means fraction, by the way, for y over x is equal to the letter k. So your letter k is equal to 4. If we were to take this equation and solve it for y, that means we multiply both sides by x in order to get the x to cancel out over here. That would be y is equal to kx. So that's the direct variation equation formula. So to solve for y, it equals to k times x, but you pretty much saw that when we multiply our x value by some number to get to the y value. So the k is the constant of variation. Good question. Thank you, Miss Silverman. The ratio of any set of x1, y1 sub 1 values is equal to the ratio of any other corresponding set of x sub 2, y sub 2 values in the table. So these values are equal. So they're equivalent fractions. Thus, setting up two equivalent ratios, there you go. Ratio is a fraction, by the way, equal to each other, yielding a proportion. So our y, which is is our dependent variable over our x coordinate, is equal to the second y value over the second x value. So that's going to give us our k value because they're equal ratios. If you looked at what we had just a moment ago in the question, notice each question was worth 4 points. How do we get that? 4 points? Well, we divide the y values over the x values, and they're all reduced down to 4. So all of these fractions are equal. That's very important to know. That formula, y over x, that'll give you the k. It's necessary to indicate the order in which the variables are being compared because sometimes they ask you different things. So the constant of variation, in other words, the fraction of y with respect to x, so that would be, since it's a fraction, here's your numerator, there's your denominator, y over x is y over x is 4 over 1, since y is equal to 4x. The constant of variation of x with respect to y is x over y. Again, x came first, y came second, so there's your fraction, which is 1/4. That's upside down from 4 over 1, reciprocals. So since x is 1/4 of y, so that's another way of looking at it if you went backwards. So the two constants, k, are reciprocals. All right, here are some points to remember, so just give me a second. Okay, I'm back. So some points to remember for positive k, x increases as y increases. As I said a little earlier, they're both going in the same direction. If it's a negative k, then x decreases as y increases. They're both going down. If x is multiplied by a number, then y is multiplied by the same number. So that's important to know in your chart. If x is divided by a number, then y is divided by that same number. Okay. So let's take a look at some questions. If x varies directly, that means they're going in the same direction as y, then if x is 1.5 and y is 3.75, find the constant of variation for k for x in terms of y. So they're asking for a fraction, which is the k, of x over y. Remember, x came first, y came second, even though we know the formula is y over x, but they're asking for it in terms of y. So here's your first letter and here's your second letter. So let's get a pen and get to it. And well, looks like we'll need a calculator as well. So x came first, y came second. So 1.5 is going to be over 3.75. And that's going to equal to our k value. So let's get our calculator and deal with that. So 1.5 over, or divided by, that fraction bar, by the way, means divide 3.75. Press enter, and I get 0.4. Oops, let's erase that. And so 0.4 is our K value. And there it is. So I hope you got that. So again, the constant variation is just a special fraction, and they tell you what order that they want it in. So in terms of y, so the first term over the second term. So here's one for you. If we can get to it. Okay, there it is. If x varies directly as y, oh, we're using the same numbers. So 1.5 and y is 3.7. Find the constant of variation for k for y over x. So that you should have no problem with. So remember how your fraction is stated. Check your understanding. I hope you're understanding everything and it's going well for you. If not, rewatch the tape and write down your questions and bring them in. Here's a good question. A car travels 4 miles in 5 minutes. If the car continues at this constant speed, so there's a constant speed that we should know. So let's underline that, constant speed. What is the distance the car will cover in 33 minutes? So we got a multiple choice question, so let's try to figure it out. Remember, there's a rate of speed going on here. So we got miles over time. So miles would be 4 over 5 minutes in time. And we want to see if what is that equal to when it comes to minutes. I don't know what the miles will cover for 33 minutes. So I set up a proportion because we are dealing with equal fractions here. If you haven't seen my proportional relationship video, check it out. 4 over 5 is equal to that. So how do we solve that? If you recall, we cross multiply our cross products. That'll give us 5 times x is going to be equal to 4 times 33. And this is where a calculator definitely comes in handy. So 4 times 33, and we're going to divide that by 5. So let's first get our calculator. So let's clear that. 4, if I can get that 4, there we go, times 33. See what that is equal to? 132. And let's divide that by 5. So divide that by 5. That answer will be divided by 5. That's going to give us the answer of 26.4, which is letter C. So let's drag that out over here, make it a little smaller so we can see. And I don't want to mislead you because I do want to show you the work over there that we are supposed to do. So let's get our color black. No, let's use a different color. Let's use red. So this multiplied to give you 132, and 5 times x is 5x, and we divide by 5, and x will be equal to 26.4, which is letter C. So let's drag letter C in there. So let's see if we're right. Yes, good going. So we solved that question. So check out the work that we did using our proportions, because remember, we're talking about equal fractions, so we just set up fractions equal to themselves and figure it out. So nice question. So here's one for you. So check it out. Oh, hi, Talia. So how many buckets were used? So check out Tayu's question, see if you can figure it out. I check your understanding. I hope things are going well. If not, write them down. Write down those questions and bring them in tomorrow, and we'll solve them in class. All right. Here's a nice game we plan on playing in class. So let's see our next question. Okay. Now we got a table. One variable varies directly, means going the same direction as the other. So if they are going the same direction, so 1, 2, the numbers are increasing, so the numbers are increasing for H and D. Find the missing numbers and write the formula that relates to the variables. So 1H, and that's 5. And I got a 2. I don't know what that number is, so I got to figure it out. But if you remember, we're dealing with equal fractions here. So let's get a pen and deal with it. So we have H over D. So we got our first fraction 1/5. And we know they're going in the same direction. So all we have to do is try to figure out what would be the missing number. Well, 1 goes up, then the 2, and 5 goes to X. So let's go back to our proportional relationship reasoning. We would cross multiply our cross products. 1 times X. Oops. 1 times X equals 5 times 2. 1 times X is X. 5 times 2 is 10. And I'm sure you probably saw that without me doing this work, but you never know. So that means this is 10. So let's get our cursor. And hey, we got that right. So notice the numbers are increasing. So they got to keep increasing. So what do you think this number is? I'll give you a second. Because this has got to reduce down to 1/5. 2 over 5, 10, it reduces down to 1/5. So what number over that would give us 25? So if you said 5, you are correct. Well, let's try this one. 7 over what? So it reduces down to 5. So, or we could look at it this way. We can multiply 1 times 5 to give us 5. 2 times 5 gave us 10. 5 times 5 gave us 25. So 7 times 5 would give us this number, which is 35. So if you said 35, correct. But we got to write our formula for this. So when I said multiplying by 5, I found the constant of variation. So my constant of variation was 5 because I multiplied each one of these by 5 to get the value of the next of the D. So H times 5 gave us the D, or D is equal to 5H. So there's one formula. And if we wanted to solve for H, let's get a different color. We would just use the reciprocal of this 5. Reciprocal means the number upside down with that we have here. So I'll multiply by itself to give you, multiply by the number to give you 1. So I would multiply that by 1/5. So I got D. So my reciprocal of 5, I would put a 1 under the 5 and turn it upside down. That would give me 1/5 and just switch the letters. So H would be 1/5 of that. In other words, you're going backwards. 5 divided by 5 is 1, or 5 times 1/5 is 1. 10 times 1/5 is 2. 25 times 1/5 is 5. So that's why we use the reciprocal. So we just got our two formulas. So I don't know which one they were asking for, but I gave them both just in case. And there they are. So I hope you got that one. So that was a good question. Here's the table for you. So take a look, see if you can fill in the boxes. And I'll even give you a hint on this last one here by uncovering one, 33. So check your understanding. I hope things are going well for you. If not, rewatch the video and bring in your questions tomorrow. Two quantities, x and y, vary directly. So x and y, they're your fractions, x over y. They're going in the same direction. So they both seem to be going, looks like 4 is x, and I see x is 6, so they're going up. Y is 10. Find the value of y when x is equal to 6. All right, so let's get our fractions going. Let's get a pen. Let's use blue this time. So x over y, that's the order it came in, first numerator, denominator. They're going in the same direction, so that means they're going up in this case because x is 4, and then it goes over to 6. And then we have to find y when y is 10, so x is 4, then y is then, let's go to red, y is 10, so this y is 10, so 4 over 10, that was our first fraction, 4 over 10, and we want to find the value of y, that'll be our second y, so they should put a subscript there, and we have x is equal to 6, so this was our second x. So remember, these are equal fractions, so all you got to do is cross multiply. 4 times y sub the second y, subscript, that's a subscript, not a 2y, and 6 times 10. 6 times 10 is 60, and that'll equal to 4 to this with the second y. All I do is divide by 4, divide by 4. The 4's cancel out. Y, the second y, is equal to 15. All right, let's check that. Yes. So remember, going in the same direction, they give you the fraction, they're very indirectly. Later on, you get to talk about indirectly when they go in different ways. Um, Basically, it's equal fractions or proportions. So check out my proportional relationship video if you're a little concerned about that. So let's see if there's a question for you. Yes, here's a question for you. So give it a shot. Pause the video and let's go on. So, that's the end of the lesson. So I hope you found it easy and enjoyable. So please write down your questions. Remember, watch our tutorial videos on YouTube. Again, my channel name is Dan Robinson. Subscribe to our channel so you can get our latest reviews, latest videos, and write a little review or comment on the comment section. Let us know how we're doing. If you're understanding or if it's not helping, please let me know what I can do better. Give us a thumbs up if you like it. Remember, there is a nice video, PKMS Math Prep. I guarantee you will enjoy it. 2018 video. We are working on the 2019 Math Prep 19. So check it out. I think you'll like it. You could write me at tweet me at drobmath1, and I'll be glad to hear from you. Don't forget to watch our show Math Time on Tuesdays from 4:30 to 5 p.m. Optimum Cablevision, Channel 15. So I hope you enjoyed the movie and got something out of it. So this is Dr. Robinson signing off. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye.